Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Katerina, or Kat if you're new here, and in this video I'm going to be starting another reading vlog. However, we are going to have a theme to this reading vlog since it is the month of February and it is the month of romance and Valentine's Day is a week away. We are going to be attempting to read romance books for an entire week. You know, most people love romance books, not me. I have never enjoyed reading romance. It is not my favorite genre. And the last time I read romance was probably when I was 12 or 13. I have no idea what to read in romance. I have not been in the romance scene for a while. I don't know what was out there. I didn't know it was popular. And so I had to enlist some help from a few people to give me some romance ideas. So I have 4 of the 5 books from the library here that I'm going to attempt reading. So let me tell you guys about the romantic books that I picked to get me into the romantic mood. So the first one is one that I actually wanted to read, and that is My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Now, I have heard mixed reviews on this one. Some people say they absolutely love it, and many people say they absolutely disliked it. So of course, when I was looking into the romance genre, there was a name that was pulled up many times, and that is Emily Henry. And so the first Emily Henry book we have here is Book Lovers. I literally know nothing about this book except that the main character absolutely loves books. And then the next one, once again, is another book that is 90% romance with a little hint of supernatural just to ease me into the romance genre, and that is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I ended up also reserving The 7-Year Slip, I think by the same author, because that one also sounded really interesting. And then finally, the other Emily Henry book that I picked up for this week, because once again, Emily Henry seems to have written a lot of very popular books, and that one is The Beach Read. So these are the 4 books that I'm going to attempt to read this week. Am I gonna get to all of them? No. Am I gonna enjoy them? I don't know. Am I entering my romance era? We'll see. Wish me luck, friends. Let's get this vlog started. I will see you on the other side. So it's Sunday, guys, and it is the first day of me attempting to read romance books for an entire week, and it's already off to a really great start. I ended up getting up early this morning and I got my workout in. My husband's out for the day with his dad, and so I get the house to myself for pretty much the entire day, and I ended up picking up my first romance book to read for this week, and that was My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. What do I have to say so far about reading romance? It's definitely nothing like reading fantasy. It's definitely a challenge for me because in fantasy, you pretty much jump into the plot, or there is a event that happens early on in the plot that jumpstarts the plot. With romance, I don't know if that exists, or if it does, it's just not existing in My Roommate is a Vampire, because I'm 73 pages in, and not much has happened. I am just not used to reading romance books where things aren't really happening as often, and it's just the interactions between the characters and then building a relationship that's more important. So I'm gonna continue reading.
Oh, that's all right.
I thought I'd give you guys a quick reading update. It is later Monday, and earlier today before work, so at like 6 a.m. this morning, I did finish My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. What do I have to say about this romance book? It wasn't awful. I will say that. It wasn't awful. I'm feeling like probably my thoughts shouldn't be based solely on this book, and I need to get a few more romance books under my belt to know what is considered good romance. But I felt like the plot in this book was very slow to non-existent. The cover pretty much explains what the book is about. My Roommate is a Vampire. There felt like there wasn't very many problems or situations that the characters face together. I know that in romance books, there's kind of like that point in the romance book where there's tension and there was an issue, and then that issue is resolved and then happily ever after. And it felt like there wasn't that situation, and the situation that happened in this book actually took less than 2 pages to resolve, and so it kind of felt very anticlimactic. So I think I'm gonna pick up Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This will be my very first Emily Henry book, and we'll see how it differentiates from My Roommate is the Vampire. Am I gonna feel anything different? My thoughts gonna be different? I'm hoping there's more of a plot to this one and that there is more sustenance to it. I don't know. Thursday now, and I need to give you guys a reading update. Happy to say though that I did finish my very first Emily Henry novel, Book Lovers, and I gave it a 4.25 stars, which was very surprising for me. I did not think I was going to enjoy this, especially since the first 50 pages wasn't really enrapturing me very fast, so I was definitely nervous, thinking like, is romance honestly for me? Happy to say that I did stick it out and I ended up loving it in the end. There were so many things that I loved about this book, but one of the things that I didn't like, I should say, is the not so slow burn romance. I think I'm a slow burn romance girly because when I read romances and they are very fast paced and there isn't much build up to the romance and it's kind of just like, you know, known that these characters are going to get together, I'm not as interested in the romance development. However, there was much more going on in this book besides romance. There was the relationship between Nora, the main character, and her sister Libby, and of course her relationship between her and her like arch nemesis rival Charlie. Something that Emily Henry does very well is, one, she captures her audience through her writing and sucks you into the story. So I am going to be starting the next book, which I think is The Dead Romantics is what I'm thinking of, and I will talk to you guys later. A day later than when I wanted to get this video up. Things just kind of happened with life and everything, and you kind of just gotta roll with what life gives you, and that's pretty much what I did. But I did finish 3 books during the week that I was reading romances, and I was actually quite impressed with myself that I got through 3 books in a week. So these are the books that I finished during the week that I was reading romances. We started off with My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I ended up giving this a 3-star. Really enjoyed it. Didn't like the fact though that it was very slow and not much was happening with the plot. Pretty much the plot is the title of this book, and that's it. There isn't really much sustenance to it. So it did leave me with, is this what all romance books are going to be like? But happy to say, when I went into my next book, which was Book Lovers by Emily Henry, I was very surprised that I actually enjoyed this. This was my very first Emily Henry book ever. Before this vlog, I have never even touched nor read a synopsis of an Emily Henry book, and I was very surprised by it. I ended up giving it a 4.25 stars. Really enjoyed it. I absolutely love the characters. I enjoyed the relationships between Nora and her sister, Nora and Charlie. I loved the twist on the Hallmark cliches that Emily Henry gave us. Very enjoyable, and definitely see myself picking up more Emily Henry books in the future. And then from there, I did pick up The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I ended up giving this one a 3.5 stars, I believe. This one, once again, fell into kind of like the My Roommate is a Vampire situation where not much was happening. The romance really didn't develop how I thought it was, and in fact, it was very much so insta-love. You kind of knew where everything was gonna go. There wasn't really much guessing with this book. There we have it. Those are the 3 romance books that I did finish during the week that I was reading romance. So does this mean that I am going to be a romance reading girly from now on? Probably not. I still enjoy fantasy, I still enjoy sci-fi much more than I do reading romance. However, I still think that I'm going to dabble in romance. I find that stepping out of your reading comfort zone really helps with avoiding reading slumps, and it kind of just gives you a break from reading the same thing over and over and over again, because that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last year and a half with fantasy. It's like a palate cleanser, I would say that this reading vlog was. It just gave me the opportunity to read something else that was outside of my norm, and I really enjoyed that. I do see myself picking up other romances. I really want to try other types of romances. I do want to try to also give Ali Hazelwood a try. I know that she's a very popular romance author as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure in the comments below to let me know your favorite romance books, or if there's any romance books that you would recommend me reading as a beginner, because that's exactly what I am. I am a beginner romance reader, and that's that. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do post weekly when life doesn't rear its ugly little head. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.